In this nitty-gritty basics Let's Play live stream, we're going to be playing American Mah Jongg using the 2024 National Mah Jongg League card, and we're going to be playing at I Love Mahj. Today's topic is widespread tips. What I mean by that is when you get your dealt hand and you have one of every tile. Well, not every tile in the set, but one tile, no multiples. So what do you do when you get a deal like that? That's what we're going to talk about today. And they have some really great exercises that we can use at I Love Mahj. So I want to show them to you. I also want to say that I apologize for being late. I was detained in a business call, but we're here and I'm ready to play, and I hope you are too. Moderators, thank you so much for pinging me. And also we had another person ping me to make sure I'm okay. And yes, I'm okay. Just very, very busy, which is good. So shall we get started? We're going to do a short presentation and then we're going to get into gameplay. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see. Let me just get this going. Hope everyone's doing all right. I last week was on a learning curve. If you don't know, that's what I call a losing streak. It's not a losing streak. It's a learning streak. That's it. It's a learning streak. So I was on a learning streak and I had several really good games. So I'm hoping that we'll see some winning games today. I've got it. There it is. Okay, you ready? Your learning streak won't quit? Oh, Kimmy, that's painful. All right, well, maybe today's topic will help you, especially if you get deals like this. Even if you have, well, with American Mah Jongg, it's a game of multiples. So if you have a multiple, start there. Target the multiple. Keep tiles that support the multiple and choose a category that will use most of your tiles. In a nutshell, that is how you optimize your winning potential. So when you get a deal and there are no multiples, well, then what do? I'm going to give you some tips on how to handle a deal that I call a widespread. The first tip is to maximize. That's your solution right off the bat. You want to maximize. Use most of your tiles for whatever category is predominant in these tiles. So in this example, we have a lot of 3, 6, 9. So that's what I would play. That would use most of the tiles. Now, if a multiple were to form, then you would target the multiple and then reassess and find something that will work with the multiple because of the design of the game. So in this case, we have a predominant pattern and there are like numbers in here. This is one of the things I really like to do to kind of clue me in on the pattern. And that is to look for like numbers. So we have 3s, 6s, and 9s. 3, 6, 9. Those are the like numbers. So that would be the category to play. We're not looking at any particular hand. That comes later. We're just going to start with the category in mind. So here's another example. And that's what we're going to be looking at here. Examples. And then we'll do gameplay with commentary with live examples. So we have a couple of jokers. West, White Dragon, 1, 2, 5, 6 in BAMs. 3, 4, 7, 9 in cracks, and a 6 dot. So if you look here, we have consecutive run. Our multiples are 6 and our 6s. We do have 4, 5, 6, 7. There's some 3, 6, 9 in here, but because of the 4, we have and a 7 in here. We have an extra tile that we can work with. So 4, 5, 6, 7. When you have mixed suits in your range, you want to use 4 numbers in a range, ideally. 4 numbers, sometimes 5. So we might even be able to hold the 3 and do 3, 4, 5, 6, or 4, 5, 6, 7. In this example, I chose picking the 7. So maybe the 3 in this case would have even been better because there's actually a hand in here. 3, 4, crack, 5, 6, bam. Second hand from the bottom on the right. Even though we don't want to pick a hand, just to give you a little view of where it could go, that hand could work with these tiles with no gaps. So there's plenty of tiles to discard. We have a west, a 1 bam, and a 9 crack. Now, one thing you could do here is discard the white dragon and keep the 9. And that way you're leveraging the number tiles, which are far more prevalent than winds and dragons. So you could even play 3, 6, 9 if those were the tiles that would come in with your first pass. So either 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 3, 6, 9 would be the categories to focus on here. You might think, well, what about 2, 4, 6, 8? There's no 8. That's a gap. Anytime you have a gap, take it off the table. Avoid playing a gap hand. That's how you get into trouble. Okay, let's see here. Next. So we have, oh, I know why I was going to keep that white dragon, because we could do like numbers with 6s if another 6 comes in, or you could even do 6s with news if you get flowers. But did you notice that I said the word if a couple of times? If. That would be playing a long shot. When you're making decisions and you hear in your mind, you hear your own inner voice saying if, or I hope, or maybe I'll get, those are all going to be long shots. Try to focus on the facts. Make decisions based on facts. The facts are the tiles you see in your hand. So here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 3, 6, 9. Any one of those will work with these tiles. There's a lot to work with, even though they're all singles. Okay, so let's look at another one. We have a flower, south, green, 4, 6 in dots, 1, 2, 3, 4 in cracks, 3, 4, 5, 9 in bams. And you can see there's a lot of 4s. We have 1 of each of the 4s, and we have 2 3s. 3, 4, that's consecutive run. So this is where you look at those tiles and you identify the like numbers to reveal a pattern. 3, 4, 3, 4, consecutive tiles. That means we focus on consecutive run. 1, 2 bams, 3, 4 crack. Oh, here, yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, Kimmy says. On this other one, the thing about 1, 2, 3, 4 is it only uses 4 numbers. If we focus on 4, 5, 6, 7, we're using 5. So you want to maximize the usage of your tiles. So although 1, 2, 3, 4 is in there, you also have options for 4, 5, 6, 7, or 3, 4, 5, 6. So I would let the 1 go so that I could pass. So in here, we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2, 3, 4, 5 of some kind. You could probably even keep the 6 because you could do 3, 4, 5, 6. So maybe discard 9 bam green dragon and the south. I think the reason why I originally thought 1, 2, 3, 4 in cracks with the dragon, keep that green dragon for the second hand down. But I try not to pick a hand right away because that could limit your vision. So in this case, probably discarding the 9 bam with the either the 1 or the 6. Keep the green dragon and let the south go would be another way to do it. So there's a lot of nuances, and even if you let something go that in the end you might have been able to use, you can recover. American Mah Jongg in particular is forgiving. So if you make a mistake, you can recover. So here's we have a consecutive run 1 through 5 or like numbers with 3s or 4s. We could even do. If we were to do like numbers with, let's say, 4s, I would probably keep the south. Maybe discard the green dragon with the 9 bam and then the 1. That way you could play 2, 3, 4, 5. You could play like numbers with 3s, like numbers with 4s. So by keeping that south, you could maybe use that with news. So there's several things you can do. You've got some flexibility here. Even though at first it looks like you've got nothing. Well, that's not true. Don't ever say that. If that goes in your, if that plays in your mind, I've got nothing, spank yourself, because that does not apply in Mahjong at all. Because you always have something to work with. I have started with 1 tile. I wanted to force a 3-6-9 hand, and I had 1 9. That's it. And I ended up having a great hand by the end of the Charleston because I targeted that category and I hoarded tiles. Any 3-6-9 tile I could get, I kept it. And by the end of the Charleston, I had plenty to work with. So I know that you can make it work. You may have a shallow start, a light start, in other words, like this, but in the end, you're going to have tiles to work with. Here's another example. We have a potential year hand. We could also do like numbers with 2s or 4s. Now, in this example, we're limited a little bit because of jokers, and you got to pass 3 tiles. So we're going to have to let some things go and then recover after the Charleston because we're a bit hindered by jokers. However, those jokers are going to come in handy later. So here we could do year hand number 2, 3, or 4. We could also do like numbers. So let's play at I Love Mahj, and I'll demonstrate how to work with a widespread. Now, we're going to be at the mercy of the game, so we may start with a multiple. We'll look for opportunities to start with that widespread and see if we can demonstrate these ideas. So I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to get started with commentary, gameplay with commentary now. So here's I Love Mahj. Let's do at least 1 Charleston practice. This is their exercise room, and they have lots of options here that you can work with to help you build your skills. We're going to focus on Charleston practice. Okay, here we go. Now, in this particular dealt hand, we do have a multiple. We have a 1 dot pair. Oh, and there's a 4 also. So in this case, we're not going to be starting with a widespread. We actually have some strength in the hand already. We have 1 4. The only way to use 1 4 in dots is to play consecutive run. And we would need to play maybe the first hand, third hand down. Oh, no, we wouldn't even be able to do that. We'd need to do, let's see, the 5th hand down, in which case we could use the dragon. We could maybe play the 2nd hand from the bottom, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I would keep the 6 and the 7. So we would have these tiles to pass. I'd probably keep the 8 because there's a little bit of even potential in here, but there's a gap, no 2. And that would leave us with tiles for passing. North 1, 9, let's say. But we're targeting the multiples. So let's see what comes in. We got a 3 and a 4. Now we have 2 clear discards. So we need to whittle out some of our keepers here. I probably, since we don't have a 2 dot, I would let the 8 dot go. Okay, so we have wins. Here's a 1 bam. That's not really helpful. It looks like our predominant pattern is 4, 3, 4, 5, or 4, 5, 6, 7. So probably I would let the 1 bam go with a wind, and then I would let something else in here go. Probably the 1 dot or the 7. 1 dot, 3, 4. I would not pass 2 wins since we have no 5, although we could use the jokers to help us fill the gap with a 5. So let's see here. Let's let the 3 crack go. Okay, we have a pair of West now. I was thinking maybe we could play a quint, but the quint, second one down with wins, the pairs have to be different suits. So I would not think about doing that. And a West without an East that we already let go of, by the way, is not useful. Now we gave the player to our left an East already. So I would not give them a West now. I would give them something else like South or 6, 9, 4, and still focus on dots. Let's see if we can get a 2, 3 dot or maybe a 5. And I know I just said the word if. That's just where the mind goes. Okay, so now we have a couple of dragons. We do have a 5 crack in here. At this point, we could maybe consider a quint. 5 with a 4. So we could maybe play that quint right there. It would be a long shot because we only have 2 multiples in there. We have to be able to pass. So let's let the 7 go so we can pass fully and keep something that points to a category or even a hand in this case so that we have something to work towards. Okay, so now we have here, oh, we don't need dots. We do have some options. Any offsuit number, even this 3 could work. So at this point, actually, even the 1 could work. We could do 1 with any of these tiles. The 6 we don't need. The dragon we don't need. I think I would just pass 2, but we could give something up here. Let's see. Let's let an 8 bam go, or maybe, yeah, let's do the 8 because we could maybe do something with 3, 4, 5. We still have 3, 4, 5, 6 in here. Okay, no keepers, and we have dots, so I would let those go. And I would want to pass fully. Okay, we got the East, and here's a 4 bam. We have a 9 dot that we clearly don't need. So in this case, we have East and West with, let's say, 3, 4 or 4, 5. So there's a hand in there. And just to arrange these tiles in a way that you can see the results, we could play East and West with 3, 4 or 4, 5. This would be the 3rd hand down on the right. And that hand didn't come in until the last pass. So the results would be 3 discards with joker bait. And joker bait is a hit or miss joker tactic where you hold a pair that you're not going to use. Now, with this particular pair, I would actually hold it because we could still maybe play that second quint. So we have 3 discards with options is the way I would look at this hand. I think that was a relatively good Charleston. It could be better. So let's do another one. Let me know if you have any thoughts about how that went. And we have a widespread. We have our first widespread. Okay, so we have a flower, green, white dragons, singles, 2, 3, 4, 9 in BAMs, 4, 6, 8, 9 in cracks, 2, 3, 5 in dots. So if these were your tiles, what category would you focus on? I'll give you 10 seconds to figure it out. Remember the tip I gave you. Look for like numbers. The answer is clear because of the like number indicators. There is something else you could play in here, but it's not as strong. Anybody want to opine? So Nancy says 2, 4, 6, 8. Anybody else want to opine? You could play 2, 4, 6, 8. We have 2, 4 in BAMs, 4, 6, 8 in cracks, and a 2 in dots. You could even maybe play a year hand. We have 2 2s and 2 4s. Yep. Okay, now Evelyn said 3, 6, 9. If these, and there are 2 9s in here and 2 3s, and there's a 6. So we have a lot to work with. Don't ever say again, I have nothing, because that is not true. You could do 2, 4, 6, 8, 3, 6, 9. You could do a year hand, but you could also do 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5 would maximize this option. Let's just pull these apart so you can look at this for comparison. So here's the 2, 4, 6, 8 hand, a year hand of some kind. We would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to keep the flower, of course. So we would have 6 tiles. If we played a year hand, we would keep 6 tiles. So now let's see if we play 3, 6, 9. 3, 6, 9. You could use offsuit dragons there. So I would keep the dragons. So it's a little better. 8 tiles. 8 tiles for 3, 6, 9. Let's look at 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 4, 6, 8, 2. Now the 2, 4, 6, 8 category has one hand with dragons, and it's a corresponding dragon. So we could maybe keep the green dragon. So that would be 8. So year, not much. 6 tiles. 2, 4, 6, 8, 8 tiles. 3, 6, 9, 8. So now let's look at 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's 2, 3, 4, 5, or 3, 4, 5, 6, with or without the dragons. So the answer here is consecutive run. 2, 3, 4, 5, or 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we have 2 tiles we can pass. I would not pass like numbers. Yet Misty says 2, 3, 4, 5, and I would not pick a hand. You don't need to go to the hand level yet, Misty. We stay high level. We don't even need to look at the hand level because we've got discards. The purpose of the Charleston is to transform your dealt hand by gathering tiles. You're not really looking at a particular hand until you run out of discards. In this case, I don't want to pass 2 9s. So I'm going to have to let something go. And I would want to focus on number tiles because there are far more options. So I would let a dragon go. Since we have 8 crack, 9 bam, I would let the white dragon go maybe. Actually, we do still have year potential in here. So I think I would keep the white dragon. There's 2, 4 bam, 4 crack, 2 dot. If evens are not evens, if 2, 3, 4, 5 or 3, 4, 5, 6 doesn't come in, maybe we could play a year hand. Now, since the 6 crack is isolated from the 4, we could keep that dragon and discard the 6. I think I would rather work with number tiles, so they're far more flexible. Okay, let's see what we can do now. So we have a 5, a west, which we're not going to use because in the consecutive run category, there are no wins. And a west without an east is useless. Really, with one wind, you might as well let it go so you can maximize your potential with number tiles. So right now, we have still a wide spread. And there's our first multiple, a 3. So I would reassess completely. Anytime you develop a multiple after starting with a wide spread, start from scratch. Target the multiple. So whatever we're going to do, it's going to use that 3. With the rest of these tiles, we have consecutive 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe, or 3, 4, 5 of some kind. We could also maybe do 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. There's a concealed hand that uses mixed suits. There is some potential in here for 3, 6, 9, but it's not quite gelling at the moment. We still need to pass tiles, so I would stop there and let the 3, 6, 9 go. Focus on consecutive run. Okay, so now we have another multiple. We have two new multiples, the 2 bam and the 4 crack. And we have tiles to pass. However, we've got 2 dragons. 2 dragons together would be risky, and I probably would not do that. So we're going to need to pick a hand because we've got risky tiles. I would definitely keep going. So I would probably pass the 5 dot and the red dragon. Those are clear discards. And then I would let something go. Because of these multiples, whatever I play, I'm going to use 2, 3, 4. 2, 3 bam, 4 crack. Whatever we do, we're going to use those tiles. We could play the concealed hand, in which case we don't need the 5. We could still keep that 4 bam because we could maybe play the 3rd hand down and let the 4 crack be joker bait. Now this is a little bit disconcerting here because we have like numbers with 5s. Like numbers with 5s is almost as risky as passing a pair. So I would probably not do that. I think I would rather pass, let's see, we could let the 4 go. And that way we're not passing like numbers, we're not passing 2 dragons, which is almost like passing like numbers. So I would give up the 4, and then later that 5 can go. So we have a hand in here with no gaps, 2, 3 dot, 2, 3 bam, 4 crack pair, concealed. We got a keeper. And we actually did get a 5 bam in here. But look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 multiples. And if you look at that concealed hand, we have all but 1 built up. We still need a 2 dot to build a little bit. But this was an amazing result. There's even another hand in here. 3rd hand down on the right, mixed suit Kongs. 2 bam, 3 dot, 4 crack. And then we could use the 3 bam as joker bait. So going across, I would break up the 5 and pass the white dragon. Okay, we don't have any keepers. We did get a 1, and it looks good, but it's not helpful. 1, 2, 3. Try not to be distracted by 1 suit. I would let that go, and probably the south and the 6. So we ended up with a 3, 4. Lots of 2, 3, 4. I would rather let it go and pass defensively here. Passing 5, 7, 9 in 1 suit would be very risky. We could maybe break it up a little bit and do 3, 5, 7. Okay, so we did not get any keepers here, but we have 5 discards and a hand with no gaps and 4 multiples. I would say that was a really good result. Having 4 discards is a little better. This flower, though, consider that an option. And that would give you the result of 4 discards with options. So we could play the 3rd hand down on the right, or we could play the concealed hand. If we played the 3rd hand down on the right, we would have the 3 bam as joker bait, and then we would have 5 discards. So we'd probably be an underdog on this one, but I think we would have a pretty good chance to win. Okay, now your rationale for discarding is very helpful. Oh, excellent. Thank you. Okay, so now do we want to do another one of these, or should we play with robots? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to do another one, or put a 2 in the chat if you're ready to move on to bots. 1 or 2. 1, do another one of these, and 2, hi Judy, do 2 would be to move on. 2, I see 2 2s, 2 1s and 2 2s. Okay, so we'll do one more since it's split. Okay, there's another 1. Okay, we'll do one more. Now in this one, we do not have a widespread, but we do have multiples. So we're going to hold the 7s and the dragon. So we have 2 pair, 7 bam, white dragon. Then we look at the rest of the tiles and we keep what we can to support these tiles. If I were to look at 7 bam, white dragon, I immediately think about the offsuit opportunities in big odds. So I'd probably keep the 5s. 5 7 9 dragon, second hand from the bottom. Maybe we could do something with 5 6, so I'd probably keep 5 6 consecutive run. We could maybe play like numbers with 7s if we get other 7s. 5 6 7, we could maybe do 5 6 7. I wouldn't play pairs. What do you mean pairs? 5 6 7 pairs? What are you thinking of, a specific hand, Misty? I would not pick a hand yet. 5 6 7. Oh, single pair Kong. Single pair Kong. 4th hand down. You would have to throw away the white dragon. I would want to try to use the multiples. So whatever we do, I want to try to use the 7 bam and the white dragon. So I wouldn't pick a hand yet because I want to try to use both of the multiples. So let's do South 2 3. Now that is a little bit risky. So we could mitigate that risk a little bit by letting a red dragon go. We still have a couple of options that we could use with the 7 and the white dragon. We want to try to use those. So let's see what we get. We got a 7 dot. Here's a 5 dot pair and a 7 dot, and there's a 9 bam. So guess what we could play? 5 7 dot, 7 9 bam, second hand down on the right. There's no gaps there. Since we have a 5 dot pair and a 7 bam pair, I probably would let the 6s go. And I probably would even break up the white dragon, because we've got 2 multiples now here. 4 dot, 6 bam. Maybe we could keep that 6 bam. 7 bam pair. Let's let the 6 crack go instead. So let's focus on big odds, or some kind of a 5 6 7. We could still do maybe some kind of a 4 5 6 7. Okay, there's a 4. We are getting the dragons in here. Green dragon, the red dragon would be nice if we were to get it. All right, let's let the 4 go. So we're focused on 5 6 7 or big odds, 5 7 9. Okay, so we got a 9 bam. There's the red dragon. We're going to keep going probably because we do have discards, but We have another hand in here. Second hand from the bottom on the right, 5-7.79 bam, red dragon Kong. So I would keep going. The south can go, the 5 crack can go, and then the 6 bam. And we're still keeping some of our tiles. We could maybe even do 5-7-9 dragon. This would be the 1 suit hand, third one down on the right. Okay, so we got a 5 dot and we have 2 2s. I would not pass 2 2s. We have 5-7-9 dot. We have 7-9 and bam. So let's let the 9 dot go. We have 5-7 dot, 7-9 bam. We could do the second hand down on the right, or we could do the second hand from the bottom on the right. Let's let the white dragon go. It's a little bit risky because we have year tiles plus a 9 dot corresponding white dragon. You want to do the best you can with what you have left over. Your focus is your hand. So you do the best you can with your own hand first, and then you do the best you can with whatever you have left over. Okay, so we did not get any keepers this time, but we have tiles we can pass. Okay, no keepers. That means we've got tiles we can let go of here. We did get the 9 bam back, or 9 dot back, and here's the 6 again. We have a 4 crack. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not really gelling though. I would count that 4 crack as a discard. I would maybe keep the 6 bam for a little while, but this 9 dot I would also consider a discard because there's no just 5, 7, 9 with a flower in 1 suit this year. You would have to have a dragon, which we don't have. So I would focus on probably the second hand from the bottom on the right, or the second hand down on the right under odds. We have 4 discards. That was a great result. 4 discards with an option. So until we pick a hand, because we're in between 2 hands, I would say we're probably going to be an underdog, which just means that you want to take a low risk approach to the game. You want to play conservatively until you have more strength in your hand. But we do have a couple of options with no gaps, which is great. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and play with robots. You ready? Here we go. We don't have a wide spread. We have multiples with 7, 8, and 3. You want to use the most of your multiples. Sometimes you can't use them all. So in this one, we could use 1, 3 dot with a 7 if we played 1 hand. No, I should say 2 hands. The first hand under odds or the 4th hand down, but there are a lot of gaps. And I would not do that. I would not pick a hand with that many gaps. So what I would do is hold consecutive tiles, 7, 8. 7, 8, we could maybe even play a quint, second quint, because we have a pair of Norths. So North 7, 8, or maybe something with 6, 7, 8. We have a 6 in there, but that leaves us with 3s. I would not pass like numbers. It's very risky. What we could do though is let the white dragon go. Miss Carlos, you need to find the little red dot on the bottom of your video and slide it to the right, because I think you might be a little behind in the video or in the live stream. Okay, so now we have a 9. So you want to keep 4 numbers in a range. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9 right now. The 6 though doesn't really fit quite well, so probably I would let that go. Now we do have in here a lot of 3, 6, 9. Do you see that? 3 dot, 9 dot, 3 bam, 6 crack, a lot of 3, 6, 9. But we have 2 multiples we'd have to throw away. I would rather use the most of my multiples, 7, 8. And we actually have 2 hands in here. The first one is the quint, second hand down. And then the other one is this third hand from the top under consecutive run, mixed suit Kongs, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9 mixed suit Kongs with the flowers. So I would let it go. I would probably pass like that. Maybe even break up the three dot, so we're not stuck with a pair. Okay, so we have a south and an east. We have 3, 4. I would not pass 2 3s. So then I would let something go in here. Since we have north and south with consecutive pairs, we could now maybe play third hand down under winds, north and south with 7, 8. And that's probably what I would focus on. North and south with 7, 8. No gaps. 3 multiples. Okay, so now we did get another 8. We have east and west. We have 2 clear discards. I would definitely keep going. Break up the 3 because we have 2 consecutive pairs. And then I would let something go here. We could maybe play all wins, but I'd rather use more multiples in here. So I would probably let one of the east-west go. Okay, we did get an 8. I would keep it since we have tiles we can pass. It's a little bit risky. Here's another 7, 7, 8. Let's pass 3 because we still have north and south with 7 bam, 8 crack. We just got the 9 dot back and a 7. We have 1 discard. We could play 7, 8 bam, 7, 8 crack, 9 dot concealed, or we can play north and south with 7 bam, 8 crack. I think we're closer to that. 7 bam, 8 crack, and that would allow us to pass defensively. We have a hand right there with no gaps. So let's pass 3, 7, 9. Okay. We have 5 discards and a hand with no gaps. We're the dealer, so we have an extra tile. So that leaves us with 4 discards and a hand with no gaps. So we're going to be a contender for this one. If you have 4 discards, consider yourself to be a contender. And that way you can take a moderate risk approach and push to win. Continue to develop your hand. Okay, then we don't want to hold that white dragon. It looks like somebody kept it. There it is. There's the white dragon. Okay, now we have joker bait with the 1. Let's let the 9 dot go since that was already discarded. This joker bait, we hold it until we get to about 60 tiles, and then we discard 1 to coax an exposure with a joker from our opponent, and then on our next turn, we do the exchange to get the joker. That's how joker bait is supposed to work. But it is hit or miss, so don't bank on it. You have to watch what happens with discards. Okay, let's let the 1 crack go. 3 bam, those are out. There's a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4 out there. Okay, so nobody took the first wind there. I do think somebody else is probably playing winds, so we need to keep an eye on these discards. 7 crack. We have 7, 7, 8, 7, 8. We let the 9 go because we have north and south. Let's let the 8 dot go. Okay, so 2 easts are out now. A flower, we don't need that. Okay, now here we could call. Because I think somebody is playing wins, we could pung now or wait. and maybe then use the joker to help us get our Kongs. Since we need 3 Souths, let's wait. And that way we could Kong both the 7 Bam and the 8 Crack. We could Pung the North. And then if we need a joker later for the South, we'll just wait for the opportunity, whether we draw it or we do some kind of a joker exchange in the game. So let's wait. Let's hold on to our joker. This is one of the moderate approaches that you can take in the game since we're a contender at the moment. We need one more really good pick and we got a North. Okay, so now let's let the 7 Crack go. We're ready to Kong the number tiles. We don't need, let's let the 8 Bam go. Let's let the 5 Crack go. It was just discarded. Okay, oh, we don't want to hold on to a flower. Flower, there, look. Joe Curtis just, Curlis, whatever, Joe. He just exposed a Kong with 2 jokers. That's pretty risky. But I see them do that a lot. Let's let the dragon go. Dragons are more and more valuable as the game goes, or I should say they gain risk. They're not really valuable per se. Okay, now here, this is where we're going to Kong. We're going to Kong the 8. We'll let the 5 dot go. And on our next pick, we'll let the 1 dot go because we're at the midpoint in the game. That's going to be around 60 tiles remaining.
9 Bam. Joker swap. 8
Okay, so someone took our joker. Let's throw the 1 and see if we can get a joker exchange. Oh, they have a pure Pung. Stinker. Oh, look, we got a joker. Okay, so now we're set. We can Kong the 7 Bam and Pung the South. And we already have the North. So it seems like nobody wants 7s. Okay, 4 Crack I do not see out there. 4 Bam is out there. We're at 47 tiles remaining. In 2 picks, we're going to be in the end game, the last wall. We want to start holding safe discards at this point. So I'm going to let the 4 Crack go since in that, oh, wait, there's 1 right there. There are 2 4 Bams out. So let's keep the 4 Bam for a safe discard later. And then we'll let the 4 Crack go since there's only 1 of those out. Okay, so someone just got a joker. They picked their own joker up here. Okay, we're going to ignore that, of course. Okay, 5 Bam is out. I see 1 5 Bam. So let's discard that. Okay, we're going to Kong. And now we're ready to win on a South. Now somebody could have it. So let's figure out who could have our South. I'm wondering if the player on the right is playing News with Dragons. They might have News with 4 flowers. They won't need wins. So we should be okay with Joe. And with Agata, there's no wind hand with a Pung. So I think we should see the South as a discard. There it is. Mahjong. Woohoo! Okay, so Wes had dragons with 6s. Dragons with 6s. And then across from us, like numbers with 4s. Why did they Kong flowers with that? That's not a hand over there. On our right, 1, 2, 3, 4, Pung, Pung, Kong, Kong. Okay, so here we go. Next game. All right, look, we have a wide spread. Okay, so remember the tip. If you miss the first part of the stream, the tip is to look for like numbers. Say them in your head as you go, and that will reveal a pattern. We have 4s and 9s. 4s and 9s don't go together. So I would focus on what we have the most of, which is 9s. So I would hold 9s, and I would hold anything consecutive that we can use with it. So that would give us tiles to pass. So some kind of hand with 9s. Okay, so we have a 7. We could do 7, 8, 9 of some kind. I would probably let that dragon go. It's a little bit, oh, that's a little bit risky. Dots with a corresponding dragon. Let's see, we have 8, 9, 8, 9, 7, 9, and almost news. We almost have news. I think I would rather focus on number tiles. Maybe what we could do is let the 7 go, because we still could do like numbers with 9s and news. 1, 4, 7 is a little bit risky. I think no matter how you slice it, it's going to be risky. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we have a 7, 8, 9 there. The 4 can go. The 6 can go. We have 7, 8, 9 in here. I would not pass this white dragon with corresponding tiles. No, I would not do that. We could do 7, 8, 9. Let's let the 8 crack go. It's still a little bit risky, but we got to focus on our own hand first. Okay, so we have a 7, 7, 8, 9, so we'll hold it. We have a 1, 2 white. That's a bit risky. I would keep going and break it up a little bit. Maybe now we can let the white dragon go because it doesn't correspond. There's no 2. I think that would be okay right there. Okay, so we have an 8 back, and we at the moment have 2 clear discards. So I would let something go, probably the 8. We could still do like numbers with 9s and news, or we could do 7, 8, 9, or even 6, bam, 7, 8 with 9s. Quint hand, third one from the bottom under consecutive run. We've got options. Here's the 6, and here's an 8. We have a pair now west. So we have east and west. We have our first multiple. So that would make me reassess. We have 1 clear discard. If we have a pair of west, I would hold the east. East and west, we have no multiples, but we have a lot of consecutive tiles. 7, 8, 9. Probably what I would do is let the 6 go so we can try to get a keeper in here. We could do east and west with 8, 9 several different ways. So I think I would pass 2.
Curtis,
No multiples. So we have, I would keep the 7, 8, 9 tiles. I would keep the wins. We have 1 discard. 7, 8, 9 in bams. We have 8, 9 in cracks, 7, 9 in dots. We could do like numbers with 9s and news. We could do east and west with 7, 8, or 8, 9. I think I would probably pass one tile. I would want to keep my options open. Okay, so now we have 7, 8, 9 2 ways. We have a lot of 7, 8, 9. I would gather, and I would not pick a hand. Not yet. We want to wait until we have a multiple with the number tiles. I would not call anything either. Even if a west goes down, I would not take it because we don't even know what hand we're playing yet.
3.
We're going to be an underdog until we pick a hand. And we don't have to pick a hand till we run out of discards. There's no way we can keep all these tiles. So let's wait and see. There's our first multiple. Okay, so what we do now is reassess. We have a 7 crack pair, and we have a west. So we're starting over, basically. We're starting from scratch. because we had a widespread for the longest time. We're on the second round of discards. So technically we're starting over right now. We have a 7 and a west. With a west, I would keep the east. East and west, there's a hand, third one down with offsuit kongs. So I would hold the 8 bam. And that's it at the moment. Now, since we have 7, 8, 9 two ways, I would probably hold that 2. We could even maybe do 7, 8 crack, 7, 8 bam, 9 dot pair. With that, I think what I would do, you know, we could even do like numbers with 7s. I think I would let the north go here. Oh, look, there's a joker. Okay. Let's just see what happens. So there's an 8 dot Kong up there. Okay. We don't need a 1 bam. This is a challenging one here. There's a couple jokers up for grabs. Goodness. We don't need a 1. Okay, now we need to make a choice. We could pung, but we don't even know what hand we're playing, so we're going to let it go. We need to do a low risk approach because we're an underdog until we find a hand. And at the moment, we really have one hand and it's concealed, the concealed consecutive hand. 7, 8 crack, 7, 8 bam, 9 dot pair. Now, if we're playing like numbers with 7s, we could pung because we need 2 pungs and a kong of 7s, the first hand, but we have 1 flower and singles for the other 7s. I don't think it's strong enough to call. I would wait. That could be a pung later if we happen to build the 7s. So in this case, I would let it go. Low risk. We don't want to drill into a hand if it's weak. We want to give ourselves the best option for strength. And at the moment, we have more tiles to the concealed tile or concealed hand than we do like numbers with 7s. Okay, 5. At the moment, we have a little bit of big odds in here. 7 crack 9, 5, 7 bam, 7, 8, 9 two ways. Let's let the 9 bam go because we could still do 7, 8 crack, 7, 8 bam, 9 dot pair concealed. Or we could do 5, 7 bam, 7, 9 crack, pung, pung, kong, kong, second hand down on the right. We could also do east and west with 7 crack and an 8 bam, but a 7 crack is already out. Since the 7 crack went out and we would need to kong and our 8 is really weak, I think I would let the winds go. And there's a north out and a pung of north. So let's let the winds go now. We're going to focus on number tiles. Okay, we need to wait, of course. Can't do anything there because we have only 1 7. Same thing with the 5. Okay, and here's a joker exchange opportunity for us. So let's nab that because we could still play 7, 8 crack, 7, 8 bam, 9 dot pair, or like numbers with 7s. So let's keep that. I just want to put these in order. Let's let the west go. We're thinking concealed consecutive or like numbers with 7s. Ooh, 5 crack. Let's let the west go.
West. 5.
Okay, now, you know what we could do at this point? We could consider 5, 7, 9 concealed. We're actually closer to that than we are the consecutive concealed hand. 5, 7, 9 in cracks with 7s. And we can use jokers. I think what I would do here is probably I'm going to separate the top keepers with the joker here. The 9 bam could go. That could be our next discard. Let's see what happens. Either way, we're playing concealed. Now, we could maybe play 5, 7, 7, 9, second hand down on the right, 5, 7, crack, 7, 9, dot. So let's just keep an eye on the dots. The 5, 7, we could pung right away, but the 7, 9, and dots are weak. So let's see how this goes. We have, with one good pick, we have lots of options now.
9.
Okay, we're not ready to do anything. If we use that, it's going to be for a concealed hand.
1.
Okay, 5 dot. I don't think that's going to be helpful at all for us. But the 9 bam, we don't need either way, no matter how you slice it. Let's let that go. And I think this 5 dot can go next. One crack we don't need. We could do 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 in one suit, but we have no 3. That would be the first hand under odds. Since we have no 3, the 1 crack is useless. Don't hold useless tiles if you need a discard. Okay, now 8 bam just went down. That would be a needed tile for the concealed consecutive hand. Okay, now here, this changes the game a little bit. A pair. We've got a pair. So let's just reassess. We have 5, 7 crack. We have like numbers with 7s. We have 7, 8, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 7, 8, 9 concealed. I think I would let that go. 7, 8, 7, 8, 9 concealed. Since we have a pair of flowers, we're closer to like numbers with 7s with 4 flowers, the first hand, but we could still maybe do 5, 7 dot, 7, let's see, wait, we need that 9 dot, 5, 7 crack, 7, 9 dot. Or we could do the concealed odd hand, 5, 7, 9 in cracks with pungs of 7s. And then use maybe the flower for joker bait. Now, these robots are notorious for Kongs with jokers. So let's just see what happens. Let's let the 8s go here. Another flower. Let's let the 8 crack go. With 3 flowers like that, I would play like numbers now and leverage the multiples. We have joker bait with the 5 crack. We're at 54 tiles, so now's the time to let it go. Our opponent across from us could be playing 5, 6, 7, 8. To the right, they're not going to need a 5 crack. So we know West doesn't want the 5 crack. On our left, they could be playing something with the 5 crack. So let's just see what we get. I just wanted to look and see if we could do multiplication, but I don't think so. 5, 7 in 2 suits. We have 5, 7 pair in 1 suit. Okay, we got a 7 dot. So that solidifies it as far as I'm concerned. So now we're at 51 tiles. Let's let the 5 crack go because it hasn't been discarded yet. The 9 crack is out, 5 dot is out, and the 9 dot is out. So this 5 crack is the only unseen tile on the table. Okay, so that was a miss. Okay, there's a joker up for grabs. They're doing a 2, 4, 6, 8 hand. Okay, now here, 7 bam. 1 has already been discarded, so we probably should take this. I would do a pung. All right, now let's let the 5s go. I would let the 5s go first. They're the most efficient tile in the set. We don't need a 2. Sorry, I have an itchy nose. And you hear Riley down there running around. I need to let him on the back deck. He wants to go on the deck. Okay, 8 crack. 8 crack. Oh, that was just thrown. So these are all discards here. I'm going to use the flowers to separate our keepers. Okay, here we go. So we have 3 discards and we're going into the end game now. Okay, so there's 1 joker now up for grabs. I like to call that open to buy. Okay, red dragon was just discarded. These 9s and the 8, these are all safe discards. Nobody wants these. Now that is a risky discard. Who's throwing this? Wes. Wes. That could be a winning tile for Joe. Oh my gosh, look at pure. Now there's 2 6 dots out, so they're not going to have a pure hand. Okay, here we could pung. We need a joker. We need help with that 7 crack. Maybe we'll get the white dragon. No. South. This is a risky discard. If we're going to play to win, we need to let it go now. Otherwise, we need to fold. And I still think we have potential to win. So I'm going to discard it. This might be a winning tile.
South.
It was. And I take full responsibility. Okay, so 5 6. They had 2 exposures, and I knew they needed it. So that was a probable risky tile with let me see, tolerable. No. Intolerable. That was a probable discard with an intolerable impact. So that was a bad choice. I probably should have folded. Just as a lesson learned. So anytime something happens in the game that has a repercussion like that, take it as a lesson learned. So in another Nitty-Gritty Let's Play live stream, I have a presentation called Why Weight Patterns Matter. And there's something called a risk assessment matrix. I'm not going to share it here because it is advanced, but that was a really risky discard. We still had 33 tiles remaining. So I thought maybe they would pung, but I didn't think they were ready to win. So I was surprised that they won, but I knew they needed the tile. All right, let's play again. Okay, now we have 2 multiples. We have a 1 dot and a green dragon. So we're going to hold those. What can we do with a 1 dot and a green dragon? We could play something consecutive, but we'd need it to be in 1 suit. We could maybe do some kind of a little odd, but we would need cracks, not bams. Because the little odd hand with the opposite dragon, we would need cracks. Second hand from the bottom. Let's see. With a dragon and a 1 dot, with the rest of these tiles, I think I would hold the 3 4, 2 3 4 of some kind. 1 2 3 4, and then I would just start there, maybe even past the 7. There's a little bit of 2 4 6 8 in here. Okay, there's another dragon. Here are 2 discards. We have a pung of green dragons. We need to try to use those. The dragon hand in evens corresponds, so that's not going to be helpful. But here we do have 3 4. We have like numbers with 4s. Let's let the 2 go. Okay, so now there's a 5. The 8 can go 7 9. This is a little bit risky. 7 8 9 right there. We have like numbers with 4s or 3 4 5. The 1s are just kind of hanging out. Okay, now let's see. Here's a 1, 3. We're going to keep going. Oh, wait, Agata. What? Agata. Agata stopped the Charleston. We have like numbers with 4s, like numbers with 1s, like numbers with 1s. We really don't need the 3 dot. We could do like numbers with 4s. Actually, really the 4 crack could go because we could do like numbers with 1s. Or we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. And maybe leverage the green dragon. Let's pass 3, see if we can get another keeper. We got one, the 2 bam. So what I would do with these tiles probably is use the 1 dot as joker bait, leverage the pung, and play either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 2, 3, 4, 5 dragon. 5th hand down under consecutive run. I would say we're probably a contender for this one. Maybe even an underdog because we have an extra tile in here as an option. So I'd say until we get another keeper, we should consider ourselves an underdog. Okay, 7. That's really not helpful. And nobody wanted the 1 dot, so we can let it go. Although now there's a 1, 2. We have a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, pung, pung, kong, kong. But we have a pung of dragons. We actually have a hand with no gaps. A red. Okay. Now I would consider maybe playing like numbers with 1s and dragons, but there's a 1 dot out. Let's let the 6 dot go. I think I would let these 1s go because we would need, with these dragons that we have here, we need a 1 crack and we don't have one, and it needs to be a pair. I would not play a hand, especially with a pair gap. Somebody got a joker already. How does that happen? It's crazy. These probably need to go. Dragons are going down. Okay, there's a keeper. Let's let the dragon go. So we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, or we could do 2, 3, 4, 5. I would probably want to do 2, 3, 4, 5 because the 3 could be one of our pairs. But we don't have to pick a hand or a range yet. We can just gather because we've got discards. We need to keep in mind that there's a 4 bam out. Oh, shoot. I was supposed to Kong that. I was looking at the 4 bam. Okay, so here's an example of how mistakes are recoverable. We'll be able to recover from that, I think. That's what happens when you're multitask. Oh, somebody got a win already anyway. Shoot. All right. Oh, look at this. We have 1, 2, 3. Well, that's a nice, easy start. We have a lot of 1, 2, 3 here. And we have 3 discards. Look at this hand is made for us. There's another 1. We have 2 discards, and now we need to pick something. Let's let the 2 bam go. We have 1, 2, 3 and dots. Pair with a pung. Oh, 1, 3. There's 1, 3, 1, 3. We need tiles to pass, though. I would let it go. Another 3. And a northeast. Okay, so here's an interesting situation. We could play like numbers with news. But if we do, we would have to pass like numbers. We could do news with 3s or news with 1s. We have half of news. We could also maybe do 1, 2, 3 in 1 suit and pass safely. Maybe even let the 1 crack go and focus on 1, 2, 3. Let's keep going and break it up. Okay, so now we can do 7, 1 with an 8. Okay, and we have 8, Then let's do these. Oh, wait a minute. Let's do 2, 6, 8. It's still a little bit risky. Okay, 3, 4. Well, that's interesting. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a hand there too. Let's pass 2 because we're kind of in between with equal potential. The 4 crack could be joker bait. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we have 3 discards with joker bait. 1, 2, 3 with the flower. Oops. We could Kong 2 of these. The 1 and the 3, we would need to build the 2, but there's no gaps. So let's see how this goes. I would still hold the 3, 4 for a little bit because 1, 2 dot 3, 4 crack could come in. We need the flower as a pair. So we're just going to let those go. Thankfully, there are 8. Okay, we got a 1. We could use this in here. Nope. Now, across from us, we have a 2 crack pung with a white dragon pung. I believe they're playing the first hand under the year, which means they're going to need 2, 4 in another suit, Kongs. So I don't think they're going to need the 4 crack, but they may have our 2 dot. So we need to keep an eye on this tile right here. Let's see if they Kong. So they may have our 2 dot. Not a lot we can do about it though. Whoa. We have 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 now. A 3 crack was thrown. We would need to dedicate a joker to that 3, but we could Kong the 4. We have equal potential for the hands and we need a pair. So I would just wait, but I'd say we have all keepers right now. Now we make a choice. I think that either way, we need the 2 dot. The 2 dot for 1, 2, 3 flower would be a Kong. And if I'm right about Joe Curtis needing the 2 dot because they let the 2 bam go, if they have the 2 dot, they're going to Kong. Because 1, 2, 3, 4 in 2 suits, we only need a pung. We probably will have a better chance to win that hand because we have a competitor for 2s. So I'm going to let that go and play 1, 2, 3, 4. Pung, pung, kong, kong. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pung, pung, kong, kong. We're going to pass on that. We'll use the joker to help us with the 3 or maybe the 2. So let's let it go. Let's let the flower go first. Okay, now the north is out. We want to let the south go. That's why. Don't want to hold winds. Okay, we're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, pung, pung, kong, kong. Second hand from the bottom on the right under consecutive run. Okay, so they're going to need 2 dots, just like I thought. We don't, let's just let the 8 go. The 2 bam is already out. We may need a joker to help us with our 2. Uh-huh, they have jokers. All right, let's play again. Okay, so now we have a 1 crack pair and a red dragon pair. Target multiples. With a 1 crack and a red dragon, we could play little odds, 1, 3, 5. And we even have a flower. So this would be the third hand down under odds. We have a 7-dot pair too. So let's pass those 3 and see what comes in. Okay, we got a 1 crack. Here's a north. 6-9. One thing I was thinking is maybe we could play a quint. Since we have a big multiple with the 1 crack, we could do 1-7 north. The 3-5 for the third hand down under odds, we could pung and kong. So we could recover if we decide to go back. Let's pass the 5 and see what happens. Okay, there's an option for the wind, and we have tiles we can pass. I'd say we should just go ahead and focus on the quint. Okay, so we do have a 1-2. Let's see, we should continue. I would pass these and leave my options open. 7, 1, 2, 7. 5, 7, 2. A little bit risky. Okay, 3, 4. This is pretty risky, but we're playing a big hand probably. Okay, so now we have another option. And I would break up these dragons now so we can pass fully and see if we can get a keeper. No, but that's okay. We've got 5 discards. We're the dealer. So let's start by discarding the flower. Oh, you know what I noticed though just now? We have like numbers with 7s and news, but I would stick with it. Let's see if we can force this. Okay, let's let the 3 go. Somebody kept that red dragon. Okay, let's quit. Let's let the dragon go. Surprised nobody took it. This is a little bit assertive. Playing this way, we have a multiple and options with wins. Okay, let's see here. Let's let the cracks go.
4.
Just in case we pair up the BAMs.
North.
And 6 BAM is out though.
3 crack.
So the north went out, so I would probably let that go. There's a joker exchange opportunity. So let's grab that. Okay, now maybe we can leave that there for an option later. Okay, so let's see. 6 BAM is out. That's our tile, but we're not ready. We're going to need another joker. There's the south. We got a joker now. Okay, so the west would be the ideal tile for us. There's still another 7 BAM. Or 7 dot, I mean. There's the west. Another joker. Awesome. Okay, so we're good to go. We can quint the 7 and we can Kong the west. We need to push hard. Okay, there's a joker up for grabs. Oh, okay, now here's something. They have a pung of east. I should have noticed that, but it's okay. We're still going to be all right. But they are going to do east and west with Kongs. So they probably have west. We might need a joker. Let's see. There's a north. 2 norths are out and 1 south is out. So we'll hold the south. If we get another south, we could maybe use the south instead of the west. I'm hoping we'll get that 8-bam joker. There's the South. Okay, let's let the West go. This is a little bit risky because he could win. Although I'm kind of hoping he's not gonna, obviously. We might even see a West with a joker. Okay, so he didn't take it. That means we need to let this go next. Okay, so we're right back where we were. And we don't have any risky tiles. Well, no, that's not true. This 6 dot, it's risky. We need to let it go now. Oh my gosh, there's the stinking West. Shoot. All right. So now we're ready on a 7 dot. East is out. Oh man, we got ready on the quint. Dang it. Okay, let's play one more game. Our 7 dot was in the wall. Okay, look, we got a 7 dot in there. Okay, look, we have a wide spread. Okay, so 1, 4, 8 in bams, 3, 6, 7, 8 in cracks, 1, 3, 4, 6, 7 in dots. So let's look at the like numbers. We have 1s, 3s, and 4s. We have 6s and 7s and 8s. Everything is a multiple. 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8 consecutive run. That's what I would focus on. 6, 7, 8. There are more tiles. Maximize. We could even do 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe. But we need to be able to pass safely. I think I would let go of one of these 4s. How about that one? Okay, now let's get it sorted here. The 1 can go, the 9 can go. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's way too long of a range. Usually went in mixed suits 4 numbers. 4, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 2 8s, 2 7s, 2 6s, 2 4s, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's let the 3 go. We got a 5 bam and 2s. Okay, now there's some 2, 4, 6, 8 in here. We're still waiting for a multiple to form. We have a hand in here, actually. We do have 2, 4 crack, 4, 6 dot, 8 bam pair. We have 2, 4, 6, 8 in one suit. Let's focus on, let's see if we can swing it both ways here. We have 6, 7 cracks, 6, 7 dot, 8 bam pair concealed. Let's see here. You can make any of this work. Since 2, 4, 6, 8, since consecutive run is so flexible, let's go with consecutive run. We'll have far more options. So we have 2, 4, 5 in every suit there. And we have 4, 5, 6, 7, or 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there's a multiple 8 crack pair. So we want to do 5, 6, 7, 8. We can let the, let's see here. We still do have some 2, 4, 6, 8, but now that we let the 2 crack go, the 8 crack pair, we would have needed that 2 crack. Let's see, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe with the dragon even. So let's see, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's let the 4 go. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8 dragon, 5, 6, 7, 8 of some kind. There's a 6, and we have like numbers here. So let's let the 8 crack go, and then maybe the 7, or we could do the 6, 8, 9 tiles to pass. Okay, we got a random 3 in there. We have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have a pung of 8s. Since we have a pung of 8s, I would not think about playing the first hand under consecutive run. So probably the 5 crack can go. And we could do 6, 7, 8, 9, pung, pung, kong, kong. Second hand from the bottom on the left, or the fifth hand, second hand down with the dragon. So let's pass 3 and let the 5 go. You know what? We could even do 5, 6, 7, 8, pung, pung, kong, kong. Let's do the 3 and then the dragon. Since we need to kong that dragon and we have only 1, I'd rather focus on number tiles. So we got a keeper. That's a discard. We could do pung, pung, kong, kong, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 discards with an option. I would say we're a contender on this one. We don't need that. No. Okay, now there's Joker bait, 8 bam pair. Okay, let's see if someone takes it. Wah, wah. Okay, we don't want wins. We're good there. Aha, 6 crack. Okay, so we could do 6, 7, 8, 9, pung, pung, kong, kong, or 5, 6, 7, 8. Just a matter of which goes down first or which comes in first. Oh, the green dragon. I'm surprised somebody didn't take it. There are not a lot of cracks out there. We have a lot of them actually, but okay, we don't need the 9. It's out. Oh my goodness. There was another front runner at the table. Okay, let's squeeze in another hand. Boy, we got close on that one. Okay, now we have a pair of souths. So with a pair of souths, we could maybe try for a wind hand. We're not going to need a dragon with a pair of souths. So now what do we have? We have like numbers with 5s, 1s, 5s, and 3s. There's some little odd potential in there. 1s, 5s, 3s. Okay, there's 1, 3, 5, but we have a pair of souths. With a pair of souths, we could maybe do the like number news hand under wins, but we could also maybe do little odds. We do have a hand in here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 dot, 3, 4 crack. We have 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's let the 8 go with a 5. We could still do news with like numbers with 1s or 3s. Okay, so there's a north and a number tile now. 1, 2, 3. Let's let the 8 go. So we have almost news. We have north and south. We have a run. Let's let the 5 go. So we have 1, 2, 3. Like numbers with 1s, like numbers with 3s. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's let the 3, no, let's see here. We cannot keep it all. I'm trying to think about the news concealed hand or north and south with a run. I wouldn't want to play that until we build up north and south or get another pair in here. But we do have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's let the 1 go. Okay, there's a 3. We've got 2 tiles. So now we have 1, 2, 3, or 2, 3, 3, 4. Let's let the 3 crack go here. I think. Okay, we got a south. We're going to keep going. Let's let the 4 go. We're going to try for north and south with a run. Hi, Melanie. Okay, let's let these 3 go. No keepers. Okay, 3, 4 dragon. We can pass. We really don't need the east, but we could keep it for a little bit, I guess. Oh, we got a north and an east. Okay. All right, let's see how this goes. I would say, let's see, we don't need this pair. We have 1 discard with joker bait. We need to Kong north and south, and then we need a 1 dot, which is right now being discarded, of course. That's fine. There's more. So let's wait. A 1 band. So we have 1 discard with joker bait. We're a front runner on this one. It's not a guarantee, as you have seen. Now there goes our 1 dot. If we get a 4 dot, I would switch to 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be ideal to get a 4. Okay, winds are going down. We definitely don't need that. That's kind of what we want. A 4 dot. 1 bam. I would love to draw 1 dot. Okay, there's an 8 bam pair. 8 bam pair. Let's let the east go. If we get jokers, we can maybe switch to a quint. Second quint. Why don't we get the joker? Equal opportunity for humans. Let's calm. Okay. Now, if the 1 dot goes down, we're going to switch to that quint. Second quint with 3, 8. Or 8, I suppose. We need that 1 dot. A joker. Okay. Let's let the 8 go. So now if the north goes down, we can Kong and be ready on a 1. There. Call. Kong. Okay. There. We're ready on the 1 dot. There's 1 left. I don't want to click. I don't want to click. Ignore. Okay, there it is. Mahjong. We got one. We got one in on these robots. Oh my goodness. They always get the jokers. What the heck? Well, we did get 1. All right, let's squeeze in. Let's do, do you want to do a speed round? Are you up for a speed round? Let me know. Say yes if you're up for a speed round. We can go real fast here at I Love Mahj. There's no delay. Put a 1 in the chat if you want to do a speed round. Thank you, Melanie. Okay, we're going to do a speed round. All right, here we go. Widespread. Widespread. We have 2s and 5s, 7s, 5s, 7s. So I would do big odds or 5, 6, 7. So big odds or 5, 6, 7 of some kind. So we're going to let these go. Okay, there's a 7, our first multiple. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2 can go with, let's see, 5, 7, 7, 9, or 5, 6, 7. 5, 7, 9. I would not pass like numbers. 5, 7, 9. 5, 6, 7. Let's let the 9 go. Okay, north with a 2 can go. So we have 5, 6, 7. let's see, 6 crack, 5, 6, 7 mixed suit Kongs. Let's let the 5 dot go. This is kind of a tough one. Okay, now we have 1, 1, 2, 3 mixed suits. Okay, we got the 9 back. We can pass 3. Okay, there's a 6. We have a 4, 1 green. Okay, now we have an 8. So we have 5, 6, 7. Really, the 9 can go because we have 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a 5, 5, 6, 7, 8 of some kind. So I probably would not pick a hand, although we could maybe do 5, 6, 7, 1 suit. I would hold this pair though, because if we had an 8 dot, we could do 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a if, which means it's a long shot. So it needs to go down on the list. Okay, let's let the dragon go. We do have some 2, 4, 6, 8 in here. Let's just keep the 6, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8 of some kind here. There's another 5. Okay, so here's our hand. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. No gaps. 5, 6 bam, 5, 6 crack, 7 dot pair. Concealed. Okay, so let's ignore. Now, why didn't they do a Kong with jokers now? Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see here. We have 5, 6, 7, but pair, pair. Don't need 9. We're concealed. Okay, now that does change things a little bit. Let's see, we have 5 bam, 6 crack, 7 dot, mix it Kongs. We could maybe, yeah, let's just play it out. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
8,
This 7 probably will go.
west, 8,
Joker. Okay, we're concealed. Hold on a second. I'm just thinking we could Kong and then we'd be set on 5, 6, 7, 8, pung, pung, Kong, Kong. Mixed suit, second hand from the bottom on the right. There's 1, 5 bam out. We could still pung, pung, Kong, Kong. I'm going to do it. Kong. Now we can call for everything instead of waiting. Joker exchange. Now we're 1 away from ready. It was a little bit risky making an exposure like that, but we are 1 away from set. Actually, we were set. So I think the risk is worth it. Okay, we're going into the end game after this pick. I'm surprised we didn't lose these jokers yet. We're in the end game. Okay, there's a joker up for grabs. 9 crack. I see 1 out. They got 1. One crack is out. Two crack is here. Okay, pung. Now we're on a double weight. 5 bam or 7. Oh, damn it. All right, we're at the top of the hour, so that's going to do it. These robots. Oh my goodness. Why do they get so many jokers? Anyway, we did get our fair share. Thank you so much for being here for this live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Just remember, anytime you get a wide spread, look for like numbers to reveal a pattern, and then focus on the predominant pattern. And that will be one of the categories on the card. You want to use most of your tiles for whatever that category is. Then during the Charleston, when a multiple forms, target the multiple, reassess, look at the rest of your tiles and choose a category that will use most of your tiles. That is how you optimize your winning potential, and you'll see a big transformation in your hand after the Charleston. Okay, no, the schedule has changed for Nitty-Gritty. Nitty-Gritty Let's Play live streams is now one live stream, 1 to 3 on Mondays. Next week, we're going to do prime time, which is more advanced, and then we'll alternate. So we're done with live streams for today. So one Nitty-Gritty on Mondays now. Schedule change. So we're done. And then we'll be back again next week for another Nitty-Gritty, just 1 to 3. That's right. We're trying to honor the work-life balance for me and for you. All right. We'll see you again tomorrow. For those of you who are members, Obsessed tier level, we'll do an Obsessed tier level Let's Play live stream 1 to 3, Monday through Thursday. That's the schedule, 1 to 3. Wednesday is members only for Fanatics and Obsessed. And then Thursdays, Beat the Pro. If you want to beat the pro, this is your opportunity to sit at a table with me and beat me, or any other pro that happens to join us. So that's on Thursday, also 1 to 3. And then we'll be back on Friday from 6 to 8 for Simply Social Let's Play live streams. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Have a great day, everybody. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing. Click the little gray bell if you do. That way you'll get notification for when I post new videos, and you won't miss an opportunity to learn a new strategy or pick up an insight to the game that could give you an advantage at the table. Between now and the next video, may all your picks be keepers.